everyone, we are back. My name is Cassidy or Starr, and I'm here again with you for a message from the former Princess of Wales, Diana. Apologies, there is a lot of energy with me tonight. Apologies again for the lighting, it's really late here in the UK. It's gone after 10, which is not the time that I normally would channel. I've had a busy day, and then I was guided to watch some videos on quite traumatic information to gain, to be honest with you. I knew that Diana wanted to come through and start speaking about more hard-hitting information, and this video comes with a trigger warning in that case. I don't know exactly what she's going to share, but I know that it is going to be of a sensitive nature, so just be warned of that before you continue to watch. I think I want to preface this video by saying, you know, take everything at your own speed, at your own time. There's a lot of information coming out here right now that is quite unbelievable. I think it's that harrowing that you almost don't want it to be true. So be kind to yourself in this realm, be kind to yourself in the way you react to certain information, because I think that that is where we're going to get tripped up as human beings right now. It's like the mind doesn't want to, you know, believe some things because it's too painful. It's too, yeah, it's just too traumatizing to take it in. So make sure that you are taking care of self and all the information you are receiving, and make sure that you are tuning into how you are processing this information for the highest of light and the highest of good for yourself and those around you. I would say don't overkill on information. It's so easy to get into a rabbit hole of dread and doom, so just be mindful of that too. I think that's enough from me for now. I'm going to let Diana come in, and then I will close again with a message. There's kind of a lot that I want to say about this personally, so I will wait to see what she comes through to say today. But I think this is going to be very much a step-by-step process, and know you are receiving this message because it is time. Know that you are ready to hear these messages and to be taking in this information. It's not easy. It is not light work, but we are all here paving the way for a better future, and the only way to do that is to face all facts of truth. So here we are together, you know, brothers and sisters in arms, receiving this information and ready to utilize it for the highest of light. But be kind to self. It can be quite shocking. Just give me a moment and I will bring Diana in for us. Hello, dear souls. I wish that I didn't have as much information to share as I do. I think that a lot of you out there are in incredible amounts of fear at this time. I know that I've been where you are. Know that I've touched the darkness and I didn't think there was any way back. I know that some of you are recalling incidences in your own lives that have been traumatic, that have taken a piece of you. I'm here to give you the strength to put those pieces back together and assure you you are not alone. Assure you that whatever you have faced, you can overcome. This is not easy, but it is about taking control over oneself, Yes, you were a victim. Yes, you were used. Yes, parts of you were taken by another. But it is time for you to break free, to not let the darkness win. You do this by having compassion for self, by having compassion for your situation and where you are right now. You do this by speaking your truth, sharing your story, so others feel safe to come forward. For some of you, this might not be your story to share, but it is that of another. It is information that you have been passed, but you have chosen to keep your mouth shut. I too fell victim to such circumstances. I was allowed in and given information that at the time I wish I hadn't seen. I was 25 at the time, still what I would consider to be quite young. I couldn't believe what I was reading, what I was picturing. I fell to my knees and wept. I felt betrayed. I felt confused. I feared for my life and that of my children. I couldn't believe what I've stepped into. I didn't want to believe it. There were those around me that convinced me, tried to convince me, that this was the only way. This is how it has always been and will continue to be. I couldn't understand this. I couldn't understand what this truly meant. How many children have suffered? How many lives have been lost? How many lives have been tainted by the cruel games for the pleasures of another, for the pleasure of those older that should know better? I knew that pure evil existed in the world, but I didn't quite understand just how evil some in this world could be. Coming from a human standpoint, it was too much to bear. I didn't know what to do. I was told I was given this information in good faith, that I would keep my mouth shut, and I wouldn't ask too many questions. I was told that I was being given freedom by knowing the truth, when in fact it was just another tool to keep me trapped. Another tool to manipulate me. Another tool to scare me. I didn't know why I was there. I didn't know why I was given the keys to something that once felt so precious and cherished. I had the rug pulled from beneath my feet. There wasn't much happiness where I was. It was all a facade. There were so many rules, so many rituals, so much darkness at every corner. I didn't know who to trust. I sought information from those that I cared about the most. I told very few the information that I knew. I was constantly watched. Everything I owned was bugged in order to keep me silent. That was when I started to gain information from the higher realms. It was those nights on my knees when I cried and begged to be taken away that the truth was made apparent to me. Exactly who I was and why I was here. Why I was placed within the family that I was. Why I had birthed children in the darkest of corners. I felt tricked. I felt alone. I was assured that I had already planned this, that I knew I could shine so much light in the darkness, and that it was my mission to save as many children as I could away from those corners. At the time, this did not seem manageable. At the time, I thought it was futile to even try. All I could picture was those poor souls being tortured, tamed, killed, mutilated. I did not know how to go on having this information. It was made aware to me that it would take a lot more than me to bring down the house. I was assured that in time, the darkness would be filtered out, that it wouldn't exist anymore. But this was going to take time. And this is why some of you are here. Some of you hold information that this world needs to know. And I'm urging you to come forward. I'm urging you to share the information that you know so others may see the truth. And to those that are terrified, please understand that we are here to make this change. This is why we are here sharing our stories. This is why we are here calling out to all of those souls that we know and remember of the highest light. So we can come together and overthrow the darkness once and for all. But for this to happen, we need everyone to know the truth. It is time for the truth to rise to the surface. It is time for each and every one of us to face the truth, our own truths, the truths of others, the stories of others. In the smaller communities, more and more people are being turned away because we do not want to accept just how much darkness is still existing in the world. People are paid off. Families that have much more power than another are allowed to roam free through fear. What if we all came together and said no more? Then what? It is time to come forward. Those of you watching this that receive this message know who you are. And for those of you wanting to turn away, please don't for too long. As I've stated before, it is with sharing information and facing the truths of this world that we can now move forward. It is time to face the truth and shine a light on the darkness. I will not be going into detail of the things that I read, the things that I saw, the visions I was shown by my galactic families and star beings, higher existences alike. But I will tell you this. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. There is a darkness woven into the fabric of humanity, into the powers that be. Every person you see on your television screens knows the truth. Many of your beloved celebrities are involved in such darkness. The truth is out there. It is time for you to start seeking this information and arm yourself with the truth so that you can move forward knowing all aspects of life. We cannot run towards the light without facing the dark. Do not shy away from the truth, for the truth is all there is. And it's the truth that shall set us all free. I come to you today urging you to seek the truth. Where are you being called to stand up and speak your truth? Share your voice. Stand up for another. Shine your light. Stop ignoring the truths of this world. Stop ignoring who you are. Light and dark aspects, shadow and pure light of self. It is time to get truthful about exactly who you are. Look yourself in the mirror. See beyond your own eyes. Feel into your own heart. Allow your shadow to stand beside you. It is time to integrate all of self for the final time, for the final test. It is time to move forward. I shall leave you here today. I say this message with so much love. And know that I too had to face my own shadows, my own darker natures. For without shadow, there can be no light. Remember this. I was wondering how this information was going to come through. The things that I was guided to watch has been quite graphic and really did take me by surprise. I've known that things like this was existing in the world for a fairly long time, but I didn't quite realize just how much the darkness had infiltrated everything, and the world as I once knew it is not the same. And I was kind of told in this journey that I wasn't going to be fighting the darkness, so I didn't think I was going to have to delve into this quite as deeply as I am. But I realized that, you know, you do have to face all aspects of life to fully be able to integrate self and our own souls, discrepancies. You know, it's like we experience everything. I was shown past lives where I had been a perpetrator of said behaviors, and that was a lot to that was a lot to process, that was a lot to understand, that was a lot to try and come to terms with, to be okay with myself after knowing that I'd been living in the darkness in some of my lifetimes, and that might be the same for some of you too. These words might haunt you and make you feel like you are the bad person, the bad soul. But no, we all experience everything. We incarnate as every aspect of life, of source creation, and that includes the darkness. But I think it's time for everyone to really face their shadow. And if you are wanting to delve a little bit deeper into these aspects of shadow so you can fully equip yourself with the right information and the truth that is out there, please do reach out to us and we will share information with you. I'm not going to name things on video just because I'm not sure of the censoring and what is allowed, and yeah, we're trying to stay online as much as we can without being banned. But there is a lot of information out there if you are wanting to seek it out at this time, and I think that it is time to face everything, every corner of this universe and beyond, and really sink into who you are at a soul level and allow for radical compassion. And I mean radical compassion. There will be things you don't want to look at. There will be things that you have pocketed in the corners of your mind, the corners of your essence that you do not want to face again. But it is time to bring those to the forefront of your mind. It is time to face the hard facts of this world and understand just how far-reaching this darkness goes. But also know that the light has won already. We are in timelines where the light has been prevailing. We have to move forward. And the only way to move forward is facing all truths and all facts. So where are you being pointed to face the truth of your life at this time? Where are you hiding away from your shadow, or still hiding in your shadow out of fear? Fear of allowing yourself to change. Fear of allowing yourself to admit your wrongs and say your sorries and ask for forgiveness with graciousness and with heart. How can we hold compassion for those that have been the perpetrators, for those that wish to change, for those that wish to come forward and share their information to redeem themselves? How can we hold radical compassions for those souls? That is what it's going to take for us all to move forward in unity, as one, without separation, allowing others to change, allowing others to evolve into the light. There are going to be many seeking redemption in the months to come. We're going to have to learn to hold space for that redemption so we can all move forward together. I think this is one of the lessons that is going to be the hardest in this journey for many of us. But it's time to face the music, face who we are at a soul level. And that is without punishing another, by holding compassion and understanding that things sometimes feel out of our control. There are others pointing fingers at us. There are other entities entering others' bodies, others' souls, and taking them over. The stories that we are told merely scratch the surface. It is time to know the full truth. But please go kind on self. Please take this information in at a pace that is manageable for you. And that's going to differ for every person, so be honest with self. And really see how you can shine your light, no matter where you are, out to these situations, these circumstances, for change. That is the only way we are going to be able to change where we are right now, is by sending our light out to everyone with radical compassion and empathy. That is how we are going to make a change. And you can start this today. I think that's enough for tonight. I'm exhausted and it's a lot to process, a lot to take in. I'm not sure exactly how into detail these messages are going to go moving forward, but I will always bring the information through as authentically as I can and make sure that I am trying to be as sensitive as I can to everyone that are in these situations, these difficult circumstances. I think a lot of people are going to be drawn to these videos in all corners of the world, all reaching aspects of these, I just want to say tragic circumstances that we are in. You know, it's a crying shame that things have turned out the way that they have, and it is hard to wrap your head around sometimes. So go easy on self. Make sure you are taking care of you, of your inner child, especially once you are retaining this information. I realized I was doing a lot of inner child work this week, and I thought, I've done a lot of inner child work. I felt like I was scratching an old wound, and now I understand it's because my inner child is going to hear this information, and there's going to be a level of upset and fear on a inner child soul imprint. So make sure you are looking after child you, smaller you. That's going to help you retain this information at a deeper level, at a soul level, and be able to transmute it in the highest of light. But that is all for now. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you would like to be given links to more information that we can share with you. And also, if you would like to share your story, no matter what side of the fence you are on at this time, in the darkness or in the light, we are here to share the truths of this world. We're ready to hear your stories with compassion and hold space for you, no matter who you are. Please look after you, work on your heart chakras, and sending out universal love. That's all for now. Go well.